Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Let us know how we sound. We got a new microphone. We've showed this off a little bit here and there. It is a DJI Mic Mini, and we actually have the receiver plugged up here to the laptop. We got things going on. Please let us know in the chat how we sound. We got Wolves Den Outdoors with us already tonight. There's outdoor ordinance. Says 8 o'clock can't come soon enough. All right. Stetler Survival is with us. Good to see you there. Caden, how you doing? Randy McKnight, good to see you there. Greetings from Ohio, and I hope all's well with you, Heath. And it is, Randy. I appreciate you asking. Tonight, we're going to come at you with Mountain Grit Live podcast right here on the Frontier Survival channel, and we hope all is well with everybody that's here tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up when you come in. We got 6 in the house, it says. Good deal. Come on in, kick your shoes off, talk to us a while, sound off in the chat, say howdy if you will. We appreciate you. Outdoor Ordinance says, audio sounds great. Stetler Survival says, sounds great. Good deal, good deal. Wolf Den even says, sounds good. All right. Hopefully we don't want to get too loud. We have the gain set here, and, you know, everything seems to be all right. Tonight's show is called, if you see it, the scrolling banner down at the bottom, Mountain Grit Live, Call of the Mountains. And got something here we wrote that we want to read. There's a sound in these hills that never leaves you. The wind through the pines, a whippoorwill calling that steady hum of peace. Some folks call it nostalgia, but around here, we just call it home. And home being Appalachia, East Kentucky. And tonight we're just kind of talking about, you know, there's been a surge of a lot of folks, say, from out west, maybe different places, big cities, moving in to a more rural area of East Kentucky and other parts of Appalachia, maybe starting homesteads, things like that. Maybe they're just wanting a more simpler life. And folks, back in the day, people were moving out of these mountains, going up to Detroit and Ohio, just working factories, and, you know, skip out on the coal mines and the logging and stuff like that, maybe getting a more better paying job. But now folks are coming back. Folks that maybe were part of that group that moved out of the mountains years ago, and, you know, they had ancestors from this area, so they wanted to come back to East Kentucky, to places like Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, even Ohio, Southern Ohio, yeah, all the way up to New York. The Appalachians stretch pretty far. Outdoors with Big Mad has joined us. Good to see you there, brother. Appreciate you being here. Good deal. Good deal. Well, we got some notes here, and because, you know, like out west, you know, they're dealing with wildfires, high prices, and water shortages. In the cities, folks are tired of the noise, the rush, and the rent. So they're heading east, back to the place where life moves with the seasons, not the stock market. People want something real again. They want to grow their food, raise their kids in peace, and live on land that means something out here in Appalachia. You can't just do that. It ain't easy. Never has been, but it's honest. So, I mean, that's just it, you know. I don't have any problem with folks that aren't from around here coming in here to live. If they can find a good piece of property on the cheap, that's the thing, is they would be out west, say California, places like that, and they would sell their property for way more. You know, just property is just outrageous there. They could take that money that they sell their little house in California and buy grand property here in East Kentucky. Drinking some good coffee tonight. All right, everybody's saying evening and hello to each other. Good deal. Appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. I'm not sure if this is going to be an hour-long podcast. Most of the time it is, but we can maybe end this a little sooner. The reason why I say that is even somehow, some reason today, I started feeling a little bit under the weather, but we had this live stream scheduled, and the show must go on. But, you know, we're feeling pretty good. Just a little bit under weather, some sniffles, something like that. Let's see here, what else we got? We don't want to try to rush everything, but like some of these folks, you know, they're finding their roots again. Others are planting new ones. And if they come with respect for the land, the people, and the ways that keep us strong, they'll find these mountains, have plenty of room for them. These hills have a way of calling folks home. And maybe, just maybe, they're calling you too. And we got some folks that are usually with us that aren't able to be here tonight because they're in the Hoosier National Forest on a camp. So that's awesome. A bunch of guys from Hoosier Bushcraft, I believe it is. Of course, my good buddy Richard Gummy Gamir, you know, he has also RG Fabric, spelled Fabrik, and he makes a lot of things, millbank bags. He makes sit kneeling pads. Maybe one day, we've talked about it, he might be able to make me a nice haversack. But we will have him on the show, I think maybe the next installment of Mountain Grit. We're going to have him up as a guest. He's going to talk about his products, different things like that, how well business is going for him, and all kinds of things. And we've had other people reach out to us via email asking if they can be on the show as well. And, you know, we talked about that a couple shows ago, how we will bring on guests from time to time to maybe if they have a YouTube channel or whatever it might be. Maybe they're a knife maker, or like Mr. Gummy, maybe they're making canvas products, which is great. But that being said, you know, we're going to have a little spotlight on some of these folks. There you go, make a hot toddy, crawl under the covers. Yeah, you're right. But like I said, we wanted to continue on with this show tonight, so that's what we're going to do. You hear my lady out there, Miss Mandy? And this one last bit here, if you've heard the call of the mountains or made the move yourself, share your story in the comments below, which some of the folks tonight, if they watch this as a replay or whatever, they can comment below. If they've moved into the Appalachian area, then, you know, they can tell us exactly what's going on. Now, here in my home county, here in East Kentucky, we have had some folks that are from California. Not like, say, Los Angeles or a big city like that, but they are from more of the countryside of California. But they moved here to my home county here in East Kentucky, and they are a great, strong Christian family. And they're young, they're 40-ish, I think, something like that. And they have like 8 or 9 kids. Their oldest son, their eldest son just got married recently. And the mother is getting ready to have another baby. So the eldest son got married, and they're getting ready to have another one, number 9. They got 4 boys and I think 4 girls, so this will be the tiebreaker. Wolf's Den says he's going to be right back. Stetler Survival says the mountains are calling him every day. Blessed to get to spend so much time in the woods as I get to. Hey, you know, we talked about Mr. Gummy Gamir, Richard there, and I think a gentleman by the name of Tony Richardson, You know, they're part of Hoosier Bushcraft, or Tony is, I think, and then a bunch of them guys get together at the Hoosier National Forest. And it's great to be able to go to a national forest like that and camp. And I've done that here in East Kentucky, Daniel Boone National Forest here in East Kentucky. But hey, well, Stetler, if you're like me, you probably have your own property and have little semi-permanent camps set up a little everywhere. I got a couple set up. One of them is a debris shelter set up, and we have some caches lying around where we don't have to pack so much stuff in. But we camp right here on the property every now and again. And that's the thing, you know, we'll continue on with this discussion here about the call of the mountains, but we wanted to let you know that even though, you know, most of the time here on the channel we've done a lot of gear reviews, things like that, showing off gear, showing how well it performs, different things like that. But we are going to get back into the playlist that we have on the channel called the Eastern Kentucky Woodland Adventures. Yeah, we're going to have us some adventures here soon. We're going to show off some areas here in this holler that we live up in the wooded areas, some places you all have never seen before. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. I can't reiterate that enough. It really helps with the algorithm. It helps push me out there and gain more reach. It really does. On the Facebook side of things, things are looking up. Things are looking up here on YouTube. If you look at our analytics, we're all in the green here on YouTube, you know, with arrows pointing up. Facebook doing the same thing with my personal page, Heath Ward, which has become a professional page as a digital creator, and the Frontier Survival Facebook page. Doing good as well. You know, we've gained quite a few followers there on Facebook. We're somewhere around close to 6,000 on our personal page and a couple thousand on the Frontier Survival page. And of course, we have the group, Frontier Survival Family, where folks can post their outdoor adventures or tips, tricks, things like that. And some of y'all that's here with us tonight are part of Frontier Survival Family, and we appreciate all the things you do over there. Let's see here. Sure do. Horseshoe Hideaway is the name of our camp, and that's a pretty cool name. I probably would know that if I was able to watch some of your content more often, and I have watched some. Don't get me wrong, but as a content creator, sometimes it's hard to watch other people's stuff. But we always try to do our best. We'll always use Sunday afternoon to pick out, you know, a good friend of ours, anybody that out there that might be making YouTube videos, and try to catch up on some stuff. So I'll be watching more indeed. And same goes for Wolf's Den and Outdoor Ordnance as well. Big Matt. I'm not sure if Randy there makes content or not, but you ought to, buddy. Just trying to catch up with some stuff here. I don't know how many of you folks there use the TikTok platform, and we've told this before, but if you go to my Facebook page, you'll find a link to my TikTok, and it doesn't have a whole lot to do with survival or self-reliance. It's just titled Hillbilly Heath, and that's where we do our lip syncing. And I'm not sure how many of y'all like lip syncing or not, but as a kid, not only do we like to be in the outdoors, but we like to entertain as well. So that's why we do these live streams and talk to you about different things and try to entertain you. But check it out. You'll see that I'm decently good at lip syncing. You're very welcome. And I know Survival and I, we've talked about I think he's got a show that he does. Maybe me going, or him coming down, or me going up, or maybe doing some type of remote thing like this, using StreamYard or something to bring him on as a guest, and I'll come on his channel as a guest as well. Monday night, I will be on the guest panel with Wolves Den Outdoors at 8 o'clock. He'll be live streaming, and he's going to have a guest panel of a couple of us there. And he asked me to be a part of it, and I appreciate that. And I told him, yeah. Stetler Survival there saying, looking forward to collaborating with you, bud. Hey, and as I am you. That's what's cool about this. You know, you make friends. There's some YouTubers out there, big YouTubers in the outdoor genre, that you can't approach. They won't talk to you no matter what. Now, you'll see them at events. You try to go and talk to them. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but some of y'all might be able to figure out who I'm talking about. All right, that's no problem with that. Randy McKnight said he actually gets more enjoyment watching channels instead of doing content. And that's perfectly fine. We appreciate the watch time and things like that. That's what it is. You know, you got YouTubers, and then you got you viewers, YouTube viewers, which is fine. I mean, I do view a lot of content on YouTube as well. And we got a few folks here that, like I said, Mr. Richard Gummier, he's not with us tonight. He told me that he was going to watch the replay since he's camping this weekend. My good brother Dutch Blackfeather, I'm not sure if he's with us tonight or not, but he might be. He hasn't really chimed in the chat too much, but he's been, you know, had some problems a couple weeks ago, was hospitalized. Things are looking up for him from what I understand, and, you know, folks have been praying for Dutch, and, you know, everything seems to be good from what I understand. I'm not sure if he's gone back to work yet, but I'm sure he will soon enough. Wolves Den Outdoors said, yes, sir, Mr. Heath. I'm hoping to be able to teach the younger generations about outdoors preparedness as well as hunting and fishing and conservation. Yeah, I mean, that's what we all kind of do this for, teaching the young folks. Of course, I'm not an old man by really no means. I'm 51 years old, born in 1974, so I am a Gen X hillbilly. But, you know, of course, you know, we work most every day, 5-6 days a week. Of course, the 6th day on Saturday is just kind of a half a day, 4 hours from 8 to 12. But we work at the local hardware store, and I am the manager there. And, you know, it's fun. I enjoy working there. I have learned a lot over the years when it comes to finding some folks the right boat. If they're coming in with a boat, we try to size it and figure out what we got going on. Getting decent at that, you know, plumbing and electrical stuff. Learning a lot over the years. Oh, what's this? Wolves Den said, Stetler, I just sat down yonder at your camp. Then Stetler Survival says, Wolves Den all the way in PA? Ha ha ha. Okay, Statler said, got to teach your first survival outdoors class today. It was truly rewarding experience. I get to do it the next 2 weekends as well. Wow, that's cool. And I remember you telling me about that in private message as well. Are you teaching young kids, or are some of these folks adults? Any women involved? Oh, he connected with the channel. There you go. Thanks for subscribing to Stetler Survival. You won't be disappointed. anybody's coming in here for the first time, now we don't, sometimes you'll go to live streams where they'll only let subscribers come into their chat. Now we don't do that too much, but if you're here for the first time and you're not subscribed to moi, Frontier Survival, then you're missing out. We ask you to subscribe. It don't cost anything. And if you don't subscribe, at least hit that thumbs up before you go. Yeah, we got to do something here, guys. Let me check something out here. Yeah, I think we're all right. Let's see here. We got something going on. Oh, okay. Statler Survival said it was a mixed group today. Young, old men and women. Great to get such a mixed group. Hey, that's cool. To have, you know, all kinds of different ages, men, women alike. It's awesome. Yeah. Appreciate the love, y'all. That's right. All right. I think we've had the banner going long enough. That's the thing is, you know, we call this a podcast, but a lot of times podcasts are, you just listen to them. With that being said, since we are talking and we're having video, I would like to call this maybe a vodcast, video on demand. I don't know, but anyway, Mountain Grit Podcast, live and in living color. I lost my comments. There we go. Okay, Randy's saying I have a few new channels to join when we're done with the live stream. Hey, yeah, there you go. Wolf's Den is telling me, he said, hey, well, Mr. Heath, I'm going to have to hump out of here. Still have some things to set up for Monday night as work. It's for work in the morning. Y'all have a great and blessed night. You too, brother. Appreciate you stopping in. Stetler Survival said, but after this is all said and done, I'm going to be sitting down with Heath and hearing his story. Really looking forward to that. There you go. Yeah, we'll get that done as soon as we possibly can. But yeah, we got a good crowd here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, we do say that a lot, but it's true. I mean, we really do. I mean, if I was to have a gathering here in East Kentucky, here at the homestead, how many of y'all would like to come? I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we've been thinking about it. And, you know, like I said, I got a big area, a nice meadow where we can, you know, set up tents or camps, and or, you know, we can go back into the woods a little bit. But, you know, we have a pond here where we can fish, different things like that. Not sure. I mean, I've always thought about that since I've been doing this YouTube thing. Kind of like a rendezvous of some sort, gathering, you know, where folks can meet why if they'd like, and, you know, everybody can meet each other and have a great time. Oh, I like them teardrop campers. Them's awesome. Yes, it would. Outdoor ordinance, it surely would. Sitting around the campfire, drinking coffee. The next morning, cooking some breakfast. bacon and eggs, sausage, whatever you have you. We could even make gravy and biscuits. I'll tell you another, not sure exactly what the next episodes are going to be about, but, you know, we always continue to brainstorm and think of different ideas. Just, you know, we call this Mountain Grit, and we love the Appalachian Mountains so much because, you know, we were born and raised here. You know, the channel's Frontier Survival. This show is Mountain Grit Live. And, you know, we always say that you got to keep that mountain grit to stay mountain strong. And, you know, we really mean that. But for the most part, so far, the theme for each show has been about folks from Appalachia, you know, how they persevere and get through things. And then now, you know, this show being about folks moving into this area, different things, you know, it's been Appalachian themed, but it's not always going to have to be that way. Like I said, you know, here soon we'll have guests on, and, you know, they'll be talking about their products or whatever it is they do in the outdoors. Even Randy McKnight. I know you don't make content, but if you'd like to come on the podcast and tell your story, you know, how you became a great outdoorsman, you know, you can as well. I think most everybody else here besides Randy are content creators, but we appreciate Randy watching. We really do. All right, just checking out some stuff here, making sure we didn't miss anything. Okay. Well, folks, you know, like I said, we're a little bit under the weather, so we're maybe going to cut this short. We've talked about what we want to talk about. We appreciate each and every one of you that's been here tonight. Remember to tune in for the next episode. Now, we got some content coming your way this week with YouTube Shorts and some long-form videos. We're going to do a little video on a new camp hatchet that we've purchased recently, so be on the lookout for that. Oh, yeah. Jeremiah Johnson was a great show, a great movie, indeed. You're welcome, Stetler. Yeah, you know, sometimes we go quite a little longer, but I think we're going to go ahead and end it tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you next time. And remember, keep that mountain grit to stay mountain strong. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.